Hey, Saturday night in Los Angeles, and the D-backs are back following last night's series opening win here. A 10-3 start, 10 straight wins over the boys in blue. And now, a chance to clinch a 5th straight series win to open the season. It's round 2 tonight, the D-backs and the Dodgers on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Dodger Stadium. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume, Bob Brenly along the way. D-backs winners here last night. Once again, the offense got started early with a first-inning run. Bob, that's something that the Diamondbacks have done a lot of this year.
Yeah, only the Nationals have scored more first-inning runs in the National League. They're 6-2 when they score in the first inning of ball games, and a big reason is David Peralta hitting in that leadoff spot. In the 10 games he's led off the ball game, he's reached base 6 times. He's the high-energy guy that Torrey loves at the top of the order.
And the freight train back in the leadoff spot tonight. Dodgers 0-7 this year when their opponent scores first. D-backs will be up against Dodgers lefty Rich Hill, and for the Diamondbacks, it's the right-hander Taijuan Walker.
Yeah, Taijuan Walker's first start of the year came against these LA Dodgers at Chase Field. The numbers don't tell the whole story. 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs. Half the hits and all the runs were scored in the first inning. He scattered 4 hits and shutting out the Dodgers over the next 4 innings.
A win last night. Let's make it 2 in a row. First pitch is coming up from Los Angeles on Fox Sports Arizona.
D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The Card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the Card today. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing, choose Chaz. And by Jack in the Box. This season, D-backs home runs score free jumbo jacks only at Jack in the Box.
A chance tonight to clinch a 4th consecutive series win against the Dodgers that would tie a D-backs record. Taijuan Walker gets the baseball against Rich Hill. You'll see it next on Fox Sports Arizona. Action with you. Sunny and 77, a little warmer today than it was yesterday. And we're set for game 2 of this 3-game series, the D-backs and the Dodgers. Diamondbacks 10-3, off to their best ever start to this point in a season. 4-0 versus the Dodgers this year. And here's the lineup for Torey Lovullo's ball club tonight. It's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers. David Peralta will lead it off. He's in left field. Bob talked about the importance to Peralta in the leadoff spot at the top of the show. Ketel Marte at second base. Goldie in there, batting third. A.J. Pollock back in the starting lineup, hitting cleanup in center field. Chris Owings, the right fielder. Nick Ahmed at shortstop, had the big home run last night. Alex Avila behind the plate. Devin Marrero at third, and Taijuan Walker, who grew up about 60 miles from here, Yucaipa, California, gets the start for the D-backs. Dodgers only 4-8, their worst start since 1994. And Dave Roberts was telling reporters after the game last night, his club just not synced up, whether it's the pitching and the hitting, it's not there one day, vice versa. They just can't get it all together in LA.
You know, and it's really not fair to put it all on one player, but certainly the absence of Justin Turner in the middle of that Dodgers lineup and the emotional lift that he gives to this team has been sorely missed in the early going.
Turner still recovering from that fractured left wrist suffered in spring training. They don't know when he'll be back. He still has not touched a bat, he says. And the Dodgers take the field. We're just about set to go.
Great job on the lineups, by the way.
I learned from the best.
We had some technical difficulties. It's glad to be back with you.
I tried to tell you miming the lineup just wouldn't work. Your Ram truck starter for the Dodgers is Rich Hill, 38-year-old left-hander. And he's 1-0 in a pair of starts this year, both coming against the Giants.
2 starts against the Giants this year. You go back to last season, September 4th, he pitched against the Diamondbacks and took the loss in that game. But you look at his numbers, he went 6 innings, gave up 2 hits and 2 runs, struck out 9. However, the Dodger bullpen gave up a boatload of runs after he came out of the game. That was a 13-0 shellacking of the Dodgers. Rich Hill pretty solid for his 6 innings. The bullpen, not so much the next 3.
And that's been a recurring theme for the Dodgers this year as well. Rich Hill, a lot of fastballs, a lot of curveballs. E.D. Marshall Jewelers, a look around the diamond. Here's the Dodger defense tonight.
Jock Peterson sighting. He'll be playing left field tonight with Chris Taylor in center. Yasiel Puig over in right field. It'll be Logan Forsythe at third. Corey Seager at short. The veteran Chase Utley getting the nod at second base tonight with Cody Bellinger over at first base. Yasmani Grandal behind the plate for left-hander Rich Hill.
Adrian Johnson behind the plate for the umpires. He'll call the balls and strikes tonight. Brian Gorman is at second base. He's the crew chief. The corners, Hal Gibson at first, and Dan Iasonia is at third. We have a moment here, Bob, before we get going. It's time for your Valley Honda dealers. Key to the game.
Well, as you mentioned, Rich Hill, basically a 2-pitch guy. Fastball and curveball. He'll throw his fastball around 60% of the time. He'll throw the curveball the rest of the time. So as a hitter, especially if you're a guess hitter, pick one. Go to the plate and look all fastball or look all breaking ball. You're going to get one of those pitches throughout the course of the at-bat.
Well, as Torey Lovullo was telling us, he loves the way David Peralta walks up to the plate ready to swing the bat. And he's ready right now. 333, he's homered twice. The D-backs and the Dodgers on a Saturday night in Los Angeles. Peralta walked, singled, doubled, and scored twice last night after getting 3 days off to rest that sore left hand, and it seemed to do the trick.
Now, Rich Hill's fastball, not overwhelming. High 80s, occasionally will touch the low 90s on a good night, but his signature pitch is that big bending curveball.
Peralta gets it in the air, left center field. Taylor still backing up, He's at the wall, and he's got it. Still a light sky up there. That one looked like it fooled Taylor just a bit. Almost carried over his head.
Boy, sounded like solid contact that time from David Peralta. And once again tonight, very little, if any, wind blowing here at Dodger Stadium. That could have used just a breath of wind to get it over that fence.
He barreled it up, but it's allowed out number 1. The second baseman, Ketel Marte, 278 on the year. That's a strike of the knees, says Adrian Johnson. It's 0-1. Cattell had a pair of singles and scored a run last night. He's now got an 8-game hitting streak. This is slicing out of play, and it's 0-2. And Cattell, after a bit of a slow start, batting over .320 during his 8-game hit streak. He's really picked it up.
He's looked good from both sides of the plate. Left-handed seems like a much more natural swing. He'll hit the ball to the opposite field. Right-handed, he gets out on that front foot quite often, but keeps his hands back. Makes good adjustments on off-speed pitches.
Rich Hill faced the Giants here in LA April 1st, 6 scoreless innings. His second start came at San Francisco. That was last Saturday, a week ago. 3 runs, 5 hits. He lasted only 4 innings. He is constantly, Rich Hill, it seems, in a state of evolution. Something is always different every time we see him. That's the strike call there. 2 down. He's always tinkering with his mechanics. Sometimes it's sidearm, not other times. Full windup, modified windup, no windup. It's always, it seems, a work in progress.
I think Rich Hill would just be happy to get through an entire season without blister issues. It's plagued him throughout his career.
Paul Goldschmidt, 191 and 2 home runs. Utley, the second baseman, shades the shortstop side of the bag. 3 defenders on the left side of the infield against Goldie. He singled and scored last night, 1 for 5. He hits that one hard and into left. 2-out single.
Center fielder number 11, A.J. Pollock.
Can't get out of the first inning without scoring a run. Goldie picks on a high, appeared to be a cut fastball that just didn't cut enough, and Goldie clubs it into left field. 2-out knock.
He's aboard for the cleanup man, A.J. Pollock, back in the starting lineup tonight. Flied out in his only at bat last night. 277 with a home run. There's that curveball. AJ just a little under the weather as of late. Not to the extent that Nick Ahmed was sick last week, but AJ not quite 100%. Doubled up and it's 0-2. How hard is it for Rich Hill, a guy essentially with 2 pitches, to outthink people up there?
Well, he's trying to change speeds on his fastball. We've seen it as low as 85, as high as 89. But yeah, when you're a 2-pitch pitcher, you just have to make sure that you spot your fastball to set up that curveball. I mean, the easy answer is curveball for strikes and fastballs out of the zone. Push hitters off the plate, drop a curveball in there for a strike. You get to 2 strikes, you bounce a curveball on home plate. That's kind of been his MO throughout his career, but certainly the Diamondbacks are well aware of that. Rich Hill is aware that the Diamondbacks are aware of that, so it gets to be a little bit of a guessing game against a 2-pitch pitcher. Curveball coming.
Yeah, Rich Hill was adamant this spring. He says, look, I got 2 pitches I'm very good at, fastball, curveball. And he wants to continue to improve and make those strengths extremely strong, not waver from that. He doesn't tinker with 3rd pitches very often. Certainly didn't this winter in his offseason program. Because as he said, if you focus on your weakness, you'll impair your strengths. That's his philosophy anyway. Foul ground first base side. Bellinger has room. Rich Hill strands the 2-out single. We're in LA. Taijuan Walker coming up. Pitcher for the D-backs is Taijuan Walker, 25-year-old right-hander. Taijuan pitched very well in his previous start Sunday in St. Louis.
Yeah, he's pitched really well here against the Dodgers, rather, here at Dodger Stadium. 2-0 with a 164 last season. He's allowed 1 run or fewer in 5 of his last 6 road starts. Look at the road warrior out there.
Valley Chevy Dealers has the LA lineup tonight against Taijuan Walker.
Taylor will lead it off out in center field. Seager at shortstop. Grandal doing the catching. Cody Bellinger down at first base. Yasiel Puig will be in right field with Jock Peterson in left. Logan Forsythe at third base. Chase Utley at second base. And Rich Hill, the lefty, on the mound.
All right, order has been restored to the universe with you doing the lineup, and we can continue. Careful with Taylor. 226, a pair of homers. He has hit leadoff homers twice this week, including this one last night against Zach Greinke.
One of the few mistakes Zach made, and any mistake he made last night was early in the ball game. He really settled in.
Ooh, good fastball there at the knees. Adrian Johnson didn't like it. It's 2-0. That was right there.
Well, according to our strike zone, both pitches were in the zone. Should be 0-2.
And we're off and running.
Good start.
Doesn't get the call upstairs. That a little high, and it's 3 balls and no strikes with Corey Seager on deck. Taylor last night a home run and RBI single. He's hit safely in 5 straight games. 4-pitch walk.
These are the first 2 pitches of the sequence, right at the knees on the corner, and then chewed off a little more of the strike zone and scooted it up to the top of the kneecaps. Didn't get a call for either one of them.
You know what they call that? They call that a really good job of locating your fastball.
Yeah.
Seager 213 and a homer. Taylor will run down there. And there he goes. He got a big jump. The throw is in time, says Brian Gorman.
What?
Nope.
What in the world was Chris Taylor doing at second base?
He went in standing. Alex Avila even bobbled the throw a bit. He had to double clutch that one.
Oh, that's a real head scratcher. I'm not sure what Taylor was thinking right there. He saw the throw coming to second base, decided to go in standing. That's the way you break ankles right there. Oh, mental mistake on the part of Chris Taylor.
Good thing, because Seager knocks that just foul down the right field line. I mean, it looked like he thought maybe he heard a foul ball or something.
I'm not sure the reason for that. I mean, you run that hard that far, you might as well go ahead and slide into the bag and let the umpire sort it out after the play's over.
He took off on first move. He got a real good jump, and then something went wrong. It's, you know what? It was a weird game like that here last night. We saw all kinds of goofy things, and we're at it again here tonight. Seager had an RBI single last night, 1 for 5. He's hit safely in each of his last 3 games. Think about Seager. He's not really driving the ball with any authority. He had a home run here Tuesday against the Oakland A's, and that is still his only extra base hit all year. That one is fair. Goldie's got it. Taijuan hustles over. 2 down.
Catcher number 9, Yasmani Grandal.
Yasmani Grandal moved up to 3rd in the batting order. He's hitting .361 on the year with a couple of home runs. One of those homers came in his first at bat against Taijuan Walker last Monday at Chase Field.
Now 5 for 10 lifetime against Walker. That's part of the reason Grandal's up in that 3 spot tonight. And Dave Roberts just looking for some combination that will click for him offensively.
I had Matt Kemp in the 3-hole last night. Kemp is not in the starting lineup tonight. We flash back. This was in the 15-inning marathon game. And Taiwan really did a nice job settling in after that.
As I mentioned in the open, 4 of the 8 hits he gave up were in the first inning, and all 3 runs the Dodgers scored came in that first inning. He really settled in, scattered 4 hits over the next 4 innings.
Yeah, Taiwan was down 3-0, 4 batters into the game, but kept the Dodgers scoreless the rest of the way. There's a chopper that trickles foul. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defense. That's brought to you by E.D. Marshall Jewelers. A look around the diamond.
Chris Owings, a super utility man out in right field. He's done a great job defensively out there. A.J. Pollock will be in center. David Peralta in left field. It'll be Devin Marrero at third base tonight with Nick Ahmed at shortstop. Ketel Marte at second. Paul Goldschmidt over at first base with Alex Avila doing the catching for the big right-hander Taiwan Walker.
0-2 on the Dodgers catcher. Another one fouled away at 95. One and two. Now, Yasmani Grandal always seems to be a problem for the D-backs. He's had a series of big hits against the Diamondbacks in his career. Hit .340 versus the D-backs last year. 16 career home runs, including one already this year. Owings in right. He'll have to play it on a hop, and Grandal has a 2-out single.
First baseman, number 35, Cody Bellinger.
Cody Bellinger, 304. He's homered twice. 3 hits last night, including a home run against Zach Greinke. Marrero in on the grass at third, halfway to second. Greinke last night had retired 15 of 16 before Bellinger came up, 2 outs in the 6th.
Second of 2 solo home runs that the Dodgers hit against Zach Greinke last night. Talked about it then. Good pitchers tend to give up solo home runs because they're attacking the strike zone so much.
Good fastball from Taiwan, and it's 0-2. Last night, Bellinger's 5th multi-hit game already this year. Marrero, the third baseman, moves over to stand on the first base side of second. 1-2 count. They'll leave the shift where it is. Ahmed is the shortstop over there. There's your Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game. Marrero and Marte both on the right side of the infield. Another fastball, and Taiwan strikes out Bellinger to strand Grandal. No score in LA.
Okay. against LA. And it is a time for our top of the order. Taijuan Walker was looking for an efficient first inning against the Dodgers, and he got it there. He did give up a couple hits, but you know what? I should say a walk and a hit. When we look at Taijuan, he studied this Dodgers lineup. He wanted to find out exactly what pitches were going to be best, especially against the top of the lineup. Alex Avila told me that he thought he came out a little bit tentative in that first inning, first meeting against the Dodgers at Chase Field. And we saw guys that he did settle down and ended up pitching pretty well in that outing. Another thing that I asked Troy Lavello about before today's game, lineup construction yesterday with Daniel Descalzo in the 4-hole and getting 4 RBIs. He said, look, yeah, without Steven Souza and Jake Lamb, you know, I do get creative, but I trust the guys to be themselves. And that way, his hope is that no one player feels a tremendous amount of pressure. Without those guys, there isn't as much thump, but they're all capable of taking great at-bats, guys.
Well, Jody, you're right. That was certainly the case with Daniel Descalzo in the cleanup spot last night. 4 runs batted in, including a homer. Here's Chris Owings, batting 5th tonight, leads off the 2nd against Rich Hill. CO 310 with a home run.
That pitch is registering as a fastball on the big board here at Dodger Stadium, 84 miles an hour. I got to believe he's trying to cut that ball a little bit, take some of the velocity off of it, and get a little more movement.
Well, as we said, he's always messing with something, Rich Hill.
One thing about Rich Hill, and you can clearly see in his follow-through, he's not in a good fielding position once he lets that ball go. Very susceptible to bunts to the right side of the field. Got a little Andrew Chafin with that left leg follow through.
The Cobra Kai sweep the leg thing comes through there, yeah. Well, he'll try and shape the curveball, give it as many different looks as he can. He'll accelerate, decelerate the fastball. Well, slow one there is fair. Forsythe has it at 3rd, and they retire Owens to start the 2nd. Yeah, you've kind of got to recalibrate when you're facing Rich Hill, throwing 84-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Number 13, Nick.
Yeah, when you're used to facing mid-90s on almost a daily basis, occasionally you bump up against a starting pitcher that doesn't have a high-velocity fastball, relies more on location, and his secondary pitch, that big curveball.
A trademark crafty lefty, as it were. Here's Nick Ahmed. Last 7 games in this ballpark. Look at Nick's numbers: 7 for 20 with 4 homers. And his home run last night proved to be the difference in the ball game. D-backs won at 8-7. Nick Ahmed with 1 out in the 8th inning off JT Chagua.
A fastball up on the inside part of the plate, and that's that new uppercut hack we've seen from Nick Ahmed this year. When he gets a pitch to drive to left field, he's ready to let it go.
Low backdoor breaking ball lands in there, and it's 1-2. Yeah, another chance for Troy Lavello to say before the game today, look, if you're thinking Nick is just a good glove man, you got to keep your eyes open on him when he's at the plate. That caught the strike zone there. Second one for Rich Hill, both looking. 2 down in the 2nd.
A little bit of pitching backwards that time by Rich Hill. Got ahead with breaking pitches and then came back with a fastball in the 2-strike count. Most guys attack with their fastball, and once they get ahead, they expand the zone with the breaking ball. But that time, Rich Hill did it exactly the opposite.
Alex Avila off to a 2 for 21 start. Alex still looking for his first base hit on this road trip. He's walked twice. Boy, Adrian Johnson's giving Rich Hill everything around the strike zone, and that's just fine. Just let's see the same thing for Taijuan Walker.
That's another no-no. You never tell an umpire both ways.
They don't like that?
Oh, no. That means you're insinuating that they're favoring one team or the other. They don't like that.
Well, it's just that with one team, you might have to search a little harder for strikes. Nothing, huh?
Nothing.
I thought I'd get you with that. Lays off the breaking pitch there, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
I'm still waiting for Alex to barrel one up and get his offensive season underway.
It's coming. You just
know
feel like it's coming.
Maybe not the easiest opponent to get started against tonight. Rich Hill and that big curveball. Alex Avila being a left-handed hitter, but he hangs that curveball from time to time. Be ready to whack it.
Takes it the other way. Peterson is out there trying to find it in that light sky. And Rich Hill works a 1-2-3 second. No score at Dodger Stadium.
But he's always on island time. He's Dave Peralta calls him slow-mo, which I like. I like that.
Well, it sounds like he's calling it behind my back. Slow-mo?
He's up there in the batter's box with shades on, and I told him I like it because I'm not sure if you're awake or sleeping, just because you look so relaxed.
That's how he described it?
Yes,
Is
like
this
on your own time.
Oh, okay, this is not a knock on my amazing speed.
Alex Avila, known around the clubhouse as slow-mo. He works on his own pace.
Well, I'll tell you, he's got a voice that will vibrate your sternum.
Doesn't he?
Oh.
Yeah, he should be doing the PA someplace. Yasiel Puig leads off the Dodgers second against Taijuan Walker. Well, it's a well-earned nickname, Alex. He just sort of kind of...
I like that island time reference. Get there when we get there.
Don't rush.
Hang loose.
Don't rush me. Puig at 196. Batting fifth tonight. Just off the plate, it's 1-1. Puig last night walked twice, scored twice. He's only had 2 extra base hits all year. The numbers just aren't there for him yet. Dave Roberts dropped Puig from the number 3 spot in the batting order for the first time this year. Last night he hit 6th. Batting 5th tonight. In on the hands with a fastball. 3-1 on Puig with Jock Peterson on deck. Belts this one to left field. Puig takes the turn. He's digging for second. And he's in there with a double.
Nice job by David Peralta to cut that ball off before it got to the corner. At least they had a chance at Puig at second base. Nick Ahmed was a cutoff man on that play, and he lines himself up with the bag, so he knows if that throw is not directly at his head, it's going to be offline to second base. So he cuts it, relays on to Marte just a little bit too late.
Puig hustling all the way. His third double of the year in scoring position for Peterson. Peterson walked as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning last night. Off to a slow start, just 3 for 21 on the year. He was batting in the leadoff spot for LA when Taijuan Walker faced these Dodgers last week at Chase Field. Panfilo being called out to the mound, the trainer with Torey Lovello, and they're going to check on Taijuan Walker. We had this issue with Zach Greinke last night. Turned out to be back spasms for Zach, and he was able to continue.
Now you may notice Adrian Johnson, the home plate umpire, right there over Ryan DePanfilo's shoulder. He's listening to every word that's being said out there. As long as they're just talking about a medical issue or a physical issue, everything is fine. Should Torey make the scene out there on the mound and say, hey, let's throw next pitch fastball, keep an eye on the runner at second, then that becomes a visit to the mound. As long as all you talk about is the physical ailment or whatever's bothering the pitcher, it doesn't count as a mound visit.
So if any strategy have ears.
Yeah, if any strategy is talked about at all, Adrian Johnson will call this a visit to the mound.
Zach Greinke able to continue. He pitched a terrific ball game here last night. The back spasms, he said, felt better after the 3rd or 4th inning. A long conversation here with Ryan DePanfilo and Taijuan Walker. And we'll get a few warm-up pitches here.
I think TJ McFarland warming up already in the Diamondbacks bullpen. He began to throw just a moment ago.
Yeah, TJ is the long man back there. They need some innings. Did you see anything physically at all?
Nothing obvious anyway.
With Zach last night, it was obvious that something was amiss. He was sort of torquing his back, trying to get his back muscles loose.
I didn't see any kind of reaction from Taijuan after that last delivery to Peterson.
Well, no warm-up pitches. We're good to go here. Puig at second after the double, a 2-0 count on Jock Peterson.
Taijuan's always been a little twitchy out there on the mound, moving his shoulders around and hunching his shoulders and twisting his neck around. That's something he does every start.
You can see the discussion there, Ryan and Torey. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's really having trouble throwing that fastball for strikes. It's 3-1 with Forsythe, the on-deck hitter. Mike Fetters and TJ McFarland.
They're already looking over the Dodgers lineup. Should McFarland come into this ball game, Mike Fetters wants to alert him to the hitters he's going to face, what the possible situation might be when he gets in there.
It's the call at the knees that time, and it's full 3-2. Taijuan was very effective against the Cardinals last weekend at Busch Stadium. 85 pitches in 6 innings. Gave up only 1 run on 3 hits. He looked very good. Still trying to get his first out in the second. That's by a diving Marte into right center. Puig will score, and it's 1-0 Los Angeles.
Comes back with a fastball on the full count pitch. He misses his spot badly, leaves it up over the heart of the plate. And Jock Peterson hit that ball hard to the right side. Looked like it kind of caught Ketel Marte by surprise. Actually looked like it got under his glove into right field as Puig comes around to score the first run of the game.
Logan Forsythe, the third baseman tonight. Forsythe, a 182 batting average with 1 homer. He doubled and scored last night, 1 for 4. Fly ball to right for Owings. Carrying almost over CO's head, just shy of the warning track out there. 1 down for Chase Utley.
If you've got Logan Forsythe hitting the ball in the air to right field, you're going to get him out a bunch. He doesn't have that kind of opposite field power. You have to really worry about him driving the ball out of the ballpark that way.
Chase Utley has started second base tonight. 292. He's got a homer. D-backs put the shift on. Marrero will stay near the third base bag. There's our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game. Ahmed, the shortstop, just over on the first base side of second.
We talked about this particular defensive alignment a few days ago. You technically have 4 shortstops on the field right now. Chris Owings in right field, and all the infielders except Goldie, natural shortstops.
It's a very, very good defensive team out there all over the field for the D-backs. Utley walking into the right-hand batter's box as he takes a strike. Watch his feet on this replay.
He's actually over the line. He's on home plate there. He's behind it, but he crossed the inside corner of the plate. That's not good.
Over the line, Smokey.
That's right. You remember a guy named Miguel Delaunay?
Oh, sure, the Indians.
That was his deal. He would kind of walk out toward the pitcher and then slap the ball by the third baseman as he charged to take away the bunt.
I think late time was granted there by Adrian Johnson.
Yeah, as a third baseman, you see that guy start to move his feet like that and drop the bat down close to the hitting zone. You see bunt, so third baseman starts charging, and then in the day, Miguel Delaunay used to just slap it right by the third baseman. Rafael Furcal, another guy that used to do that quite a bit from the left side of the plate.
Miguel Delaunay had a couple of good years, but Miguel Delaunay with the 1980 Cleveland Indians hit .341.
Yeah, he was fast. He could fly.
A 50 and a 61 stolen base season for Miguel Delaunay. Still 0-1 on Utley. Velocity is down for Taiwan, and he's really having trouble locating, it seems. Mike Butcher keeping a close eye, the pitching coach.
That first inning, he was popping it in there in the mid-90s consistently. This inning, he's been down in the low 90s.
Yeah, big difference. Check swing foul, and it's 1-2. 1-2 count. Marrero, the third baseman, will trade places with Ahmed, the shortstop, in the shift. And Nick goes back to his usual spot. And there's Marrero on the first base side of second. 1-2 on Utley. Right center. It's a base hit. Third hit in the inning against Taijuan Walker.
Number 44, Rich Hill.
Here's the pitcher, Rich Hill. 14 years in the big leagues, a 109 batting average.
Rich Hill's a pretty good bunter. He likes to bunt for a base hit occasionally in a sacrifice situation.
2 on and 1 out. A run is in for the Dodgers. Goldie creeping in from first. Walker's on it, goes to third, and they get the force. Peterson is out as Marrero gets over there. So they cut down the lead man, 2 outs.
Boy, a nice play by Taijuan Walker to bounce off the mound the way he did. Probably listening to Alex Avila to make the call where to throw this baseball. Everything's going on behind Taijuan. Now you saw Alex Avila point toward first base. Walker throws to third. They do get the force out there.
A chance for Taylor. He walked and was caught stealing to lead off the game for the Dodgers. This guy, you know, you think about Puig and Bellinger and, you know, all the names on the Dodgers, but Taylor's the guy that's really tough. 326 career against the D-backs, including 5 homers, 17 RBIs in 24 games.
And even when he makes outs, he makes you work hard to get him out.
He is a pain in the neck. Taijuan ahead 0-1. Big out to get right here. Wow. Almost screwed himself into the ground that time.
Yeah, real good splitter that time from Taijuan Walker. And Taylor loses his toe hold there and falls down to a knee in the right-handed batter's box.
You know, if he had done that, trying to steal second, he might have been safe. Utley, the runner at second, and Hill, the pitcher, at first. .40 pitches for Taijuan, 25 strikes. Right there, the fastball, and Adrian Johnson rings him up. Taijuan strands 2, but the Dodgers get 1. with you. D-backs trail the Dodgers 1-0. And fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. It's presented locally by your Valley Honda dealers. Download the app for free. Take Fox Sports Arizona and the D-backs with you wherever you go. Devin Marrero, the third baseman tonight, will lead it off in the third against lefty Rich Hill. It'll be Marrero, Walker's spot, and then Peralta, 8, 9, and 1.
About one of those bottom of the order rallies. We see the Diamondbacks do that repeatedly last year. They've done it a few times already this year. Those guys at the bottom of the order get on base and then roll around to the top, and shock and awe ensues.
Devin 3 for 16, a pair of RBIs this year. One of the things the Diamondbacks liked about Devin Marrero when he was acquired from the Red Sox was his ability to hit left-hand pitching. Did a good job against lefties last year with the Red Sox. Wow, man, he's getting everything. Breathe, breathe.
Laugh a little, cry a lot. Man. I mean, especially after the first two pitches of the ball game that Taijuan Walker threw, both were in the strike zone, both called balls, and now all of a sudden anything airborne is a strike.
Well, he missed with that high curveball. 1-2, another breaking pitch. There is no one in the on-deck circle for the Diamondbacks, and TJ McFarland has resumed warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. So that might be it for Taijuan Walker as Marrero fouls that one away. There is a rule you're supposed to have somebody out there, right?
Yeah, even if it's a guy that isn't going to hit.
But the on-deck circle near the D-back dugout vacant right now. No one is grabbing a bat or a helmet in the Diamondback dugout. We don't see Taijuan Walker for the moment. Oh, now Christian Walker is starting to stir down there. So maybe Christian will hit for Taijuan.
He was probably up in the batting cage right behind the dugout on the first base side, taking a few hacks just to get a little bit loose. Probably didn't anticipate a pinch hit appearance in the third inning.
So on a night after Archie Bradley had to work really hard last night, threw 29 pitches. And TJ McFarland, who threw 13 pitches last night, will have to come in. The bullpen in decent shape other than Archie. And they'll have to get by, it looks like, with relievers from here on in. Marrero putting up a fight. It's still 2-2.
Well, that's part of the issue with that big slow curveball. Even if you do recognize it, it's really tough to keep it fair for a right-handed hitter. The ball working its way down and in on Devin Marrero, gets a bat hit out in front of home plate. It's hard to keep it fair.
So Christian Walker on deck, ready to hit for Taijuan Walker, and McFarland is ready in the bullpen. That pitch is low. Good at bat here by Devin Marrero. It's full 3-2. 10th pitch coming up. He belts it in the hole, but Forsythe snags it. Ugh.
Yeah, that's one of those tough at bats. Can't do much more than Devin Marrero did right there. Worked a long at bat, fouled off some real tough pitchers. Finally got a ball he can drive, unfortunately, right at Logan Forsythe.
So Christian Walker is announced as the pinch hitter for Taijuan Walker. Christian, 3 plate appearances since the recall from Reno. He has walked and struck out twice, all as a pinch hitter. So we'll await word from the Diamondbacks as to what the problem is with Taijuan Walker. Nationwide Vision Centers eye on the game. Here is the Christian Walker shift. 3 infielders on the left side. Another one off the plate away is called a strike, and it's 0-2. Rich Hill 40 pitches, 29 for strikes. And Walker goes down swinging, 3rd strikeout for Hill.
A little bit of a quick pitch that time from Rich Hill. Didn't go through his full windup, just a very abbreviated step toward home plate and blew it right by Christian Walker.
David Peralta takes on Rich Hill today by AARP. 3 hits and 10 at-bats, including a triple and a run batted in against Hill. Base is empty, 2 outs. Peralta flying out to center his first time up.
The Diamondbacks have been doing a really nice job against opposing left-handed starters. They've won their last 8 games when the opponent starts a left-handed pitcher, and you go all the way back to August of last year, they're 19-3 against left-handed starters.
Well, Hill's got the early lead here. He's retired 6 in a row, and you mentioned the 84-mile-an-hour fastball. All 3 of his strikeouts tonight have come with that fastball. But he's behind on Peralta, 3 balls and no strikes. Ketel Marte would be next. He walked him. First base on balls issued by Rich Hill.
Number 4, Ketel Marte.
Marte struck out looking in the first. Curveball away, missed, 1-0. Here's a hard fastball from Rich Hill at 90. He really humped it up that time.
That's about top end for Rich Hill. He'll occasionally get it up into the low 90s on a really good day, but 90's about top end for Rich Hill.
There it is again, down and away. Mixing up velocity and location with that fastball. Slaps that one toward the right field corner. Foul. Little hesitation that time from Rich Hill at the top of the delivery. Constantly tinkering. And for a while there, he was throwing all sidearm. Then he kind of got away from that. Then he was going to go no more windup. Then it was a modified windup. Quick pitches. Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach. Every time we play the Dodgers, Oral Hershiser comes over and says, Rich Hill's doing something brand new now. Oh, really? What a surprise.
Every time we play the Dodgers.
He's now throwing right-handed. It's about the only thing he hasn't tried. Peralta takes off. Marte hits one to right center. David's got to get going. It reaches the wall. Here comes Peralta. Marte will stop at second with an RBI double, and we're tied at 1.
Number 44, Paul Goldschmidt.
That's what I was talking about with Ketel Marte before his first at bat of the ball game. Against right-handers, he'll occasionally get out on that front foot, but he always keeps his hands back, and that gives him enough pop to drive this ball into the gap in right center field, scoring David Peralta all the way from first base.
Marte at second now, his 4th double this year. Here's Goldie, who singled his first time up, hit the ball hard into left.
I think David Peralta may have forgotten how many outs there were in the inning. He kind of slowed down around second base. With 2 outs in the inning, there's no reason to slow down at all.
It looked for a moment like he was going to stop at second base. Big hesitation coming around the bag here.
Yeah, he saw the contact there. 2 outs. It's either an out, it's going to be caught, or it's going to get in the gap, and you need to score. Former teammate of mine, Jack Clark, right fielder for the Giants, used to have some issues with how many outs in the inning, and one time Frank Robinson gave him 3 pebbles, told him to put them in his pocket and drop 1 after every out. When your pocket's empty, come on in.
Groundskeeper must have loved him. A freight train all the way in from first to tie the ball game. Boy, everything out there is a strike. One and two. Missed inside.
I'll tell you, believe it or not, Adrian Johnson's one of my favorites. He's a tough guy. I watched him earlier this season. He took 2 foul balls directly off the nose and didn't buckle a knee, didn't want to see a trainer, waved everybody off. Let's keep playing baseball.
That may explain some of these strike calls. Goldie hammers one toward the left field corner. And it's gone. Paul Goldschmidt, his 3rd of the year, his 3rd on this road trip. And suddenly it's 3-1 D-backs. All 3 runs in the 3rd against Rich Hill, coming with 2 outs.
Number 11, A.J. Pollock.
Well, the only question on that one was fair or foul. Goldie absolutely clobbers this ball right off the barrel, caught it right out in front of home plate. That short, quick swing. Very little hook as that ball worked its way down the third baseline, just inside the fair pole and way up into the second deck.
It all started with a 2-out, 4-pitch walk to David Peralta and a jumbo jack by Goldie. A free jumbo jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. Here's A.J. Pollock. He's always hit well in this ballpark. 2 in San Francisco this week, and now 1 here at Dodger Stadium. And Hill is behind on A.J. 2-0. A lot more smiles from 44 these days.
No kidding.
Than the first couple of weeks of the year.
Yeah, squaring it up like that will make you smile. It'll make everybody in that dugout smile.
Well, Hill has lost his command suddenly. It's 3-1 on AJ. And he sends one out to Puig in right field, carrying to the warning track. Ketel Marte and Paul Goldschmidt RBI base hits. It's 3-1 Diamondbacks. lead as we start the home half of the third here in LA. Fans, a reminder, grab the Archie Bradley audio bobblehead before the game next Saturday, April 21st. D-backs at home against the Padres at Chase Field. This is courtesy of Gila River Hotels and Casinos. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. TJ McFarland is on to start the home half of the third. TJ appeared in the ball game last night for the first time in quite a while. He only threw 13 pitches. This is just his fourth appearance of the year. Corey Seager leads it off for the Dodgers. Still no word on exactly what went wrong physically for Taijuan Walker.
Corey Seager was one of the hitters that TJ McFarland faced in the ball game last night. He came on to get the pinch hitter Austin Barnes in the 7th inning, gave up a single to Taylor, a single to Corey Seager, and then left the game for Archie Bradley.
Well, TJ can give you some length back there. Last season, 16 outings of more than 1 inning. We even saw him start a game at Target Field in Minnesota last summer. This is low. 2 balls and 1 strike on Seager. Yasmani Grandal on deck. Cody Bellinger after that. This is chopped to first. McFarland's got a hustle, and he beats Seager to the bag.
Number 9, Yasmani Grandal.
TJ got a late break off the mound that time. Fortunately able to make it up. Goldie with a good feed leading him right to the base, and he just does get there ahead of Seager.
Second time tonight, Seager's grounded out 3-1. Grandal singled his first time up. Batting third tonight. Third in the lineup for the first time since June of last year. At .378 batting average, a big reason why, we're guessing. Dave Roberts trying to just get this offense going somehow for his 4-8 LA Dodgers. They really have missed Justin Turner. Good location on that fastball. 1-1. Grandal's now hit safely in 5 straight. Switch hitter. Now he flips around and bats right-handed against the lefty TJ McFarland. Yanked foul, and it's 1-2. There's the Red Menace, Justin Turner. A broken left wrist suffered in spring training. He hoped to be cleared to begin hitting after 3 weeks, but he said this week it's still pretty sore. And he has not even touched a bat. He has no idea when he's going to. There's a little roller to shortstop. Ahmed is there.
Well, Turner's still helping the ball club, though, along with Kike Hernandez. He helped judge the dog contest before the ball game. It's Bring Your Pet to the Ballpark Day, and Justin Turner and Kike Hernandez were judges.
A big year last year. Yeah, they had hundreds of dogs down there on the field before the game today.
A lot of them are still here.
Yeah. Those are, wait for it, Dodger dogs.
Oh.
Cody Bellinger.
That's pretty good.
You think about that as you're eating in between innings later on. It's like last night. This is slicing to deep left center field, and it drops in. Between Peralta and Pollock, Bellinger a 2-out double.
Number 66, Yasiel Puig.
That ball slicing away from A.J. Pollock. It was a slider working itself away from Bellinger. He stays right on it. Well, that's one of those ones. Possibly David gets it with a dive, but when you've got two outfielders running full speed, neither one of them is quite sure they can get to the spot. That's a very dangerous proposition. Probably best that that one dropped and went to the wall rather than have David and A.J. collide out there.
Bellinger at second, 2 down for Puig, who doubled his first time up.
Could possibly see a pitch around here. Still very early in the ball game, but you've got first base open and a left-handed hitter in the on-deck circle. Puig looking back to that third base dugout to get some words of encouragement from his hitting coach, Turner Ward.
Jock Peterson had an RBI single in the second. See those flags in center, dead still right now. Very comfortable here at the ballpark. And that's low, but Adrian Johnson says a strike. 1-1. Adrian Johnson's always been a personal favorite of mine as well. A very definitive and quick strike call. That's all we ask for. Just let us know what it is. Unlike last night when Gerard Dyson was up there and nobody knew. Still don't. What happened there? Look out. Quick feet by Puig.
Yeah, we talk a lot about a back foot slider. This is what it looks like. Starts over the heart of the plate. Ideally, the hitter swings at it, and then the ball breaks down and in toward that back foot. That time he had to hop right over that pitch.
That finally does trickle foul.
I think if that pitch were out of the strike zone, the count goes to 3-1. You probably think about going ahead and putting Puig on. You don't want to toss him a cookie in a favorable hitter's count, but now 2-2. Well, you try to lead him out of the strike zone. Maybe he'll chase a bad pitch, get himself out.
Well, Puig has evolved into a much more disciplined hitter. He walked twice and scored twice in last night's game. He doesn't chase nearly as often as he used to when he first came up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bellinger the runner at second. Fly ball left center field. Peralta calling off Pollock. And McFarland strands the 2-out double. It stays 3-1 D-backs.
60, Chris Owings.
It'll be Owings, Ahmed, and Avila for the Diamondbacks in the top half of the fourth. While we have a moment, let's take a look at this day in baseball history, brought to you by Geico. 1998, Matt Williams hits the first grand slam in D-backs history, tying the score 4-4 in the fourth inning against the Cardinals. Unfortunately, that was pretty much the only offensive highlight of that game. The D-backs lost 15-5.
All downhill from there. Chris Owings leads off the fourth against lefty Rich Hill. Dodgers took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning. Puig doubled, Peterson singled him home. Taijuan Walker had to come out of the game with an injury. We still don't know what it was exactly. D-backs got 3 in the third. Ketel Marte an RBI double, and Goldie a 2-run homer, all with 2 outs. There's that slow breaker, 1-2.
Another curveball.
Oh, CO waited on that one nicely and dunked it into right center field. He's digging for second. The throw from Puig is not in time. A hustle double for Chris Owings, his 4th this year.
I don't think Yasiel Puig expects anyone to test his arm out there in right field. CO kind of caught him by surprise here. Great approach on that curveball away. Puig just kind of stands up, and then he realizes that Owings is going for 2. Makes a perfect throw into the bag, but good hustle by CO to get there in front of the throw.
A mound visit for Grandal. He checks in with Rich Hill as Nick Ahmed steps up. 100 career doubles for Chris Owings. He had a double and a run scored in the 3rd inning last night. Leads off the 4th inning with a double here tonight. Ahmed struck out looking his first time up. That's 8 base hits on the road trip for Chris. Diamondbacks, keep in mind, especially with a left-hander out there, have been very aggressive on this road trip, stealing 3rd base. They've gotten after it.
It wouldn't surprise me, although you wouldn't expect it with nobody out. With 1 out, it's a possibility then. With nobody out there, you're in scoring position right now. Just let Nick take this at bat and see what he can do.
He's ahead 2-0. Grandal hangs on to the foul tip. Waited out that breaking ball. 2-2.
Double Cathud that time. Nick fouled it off the ground and then hit it again on his backswing.
CO still cleaning himself off down there.
Occasionally on those head first slides, you get about half of the infield down the front of your pants, and that is not comfortable.
Got that fastball in there for strike 3. 4 strikeouts for Hill. Second time he's got Ahmed looking tonight.
Number 5, Alex Avila.
Brings up Alex Avila. Alex flying out pretty deep to left field in his first at bat tonight. We have news on Taijuan Walker. Let's go down to Jody.
Walker, that's right forearm tightness, the word from the Diamondbacks right now, and so obviously that's all we know. It's never good to hear. It could be nothing, or it could be a sign of a larger issue, potentially an elbow issue, but we don't want to speculate. Right now, that's what it is, guys.
Thank you, Jody. Right forearm tightness for Taijuan Walker.
Well, it was clear his velocity dropped way off after the mound visit by the trainer and Torey Lovullo. He was consistently hitting 95, 96 in the first inning of the ball game. That velocity dropped down into the low 90s.
Two and 0 on Alex Avila. Owings will stay put at second.
You may have noticed Torey Lovullo, when we had that shot of him in the first base dugout there, he gave a sign to Tony Perez-Chica, and if I'm not mistaken, he was letting the third base coach know that TJ McFarland is going to hit for himself. That may change your idea about when to send a runner, when to hold a runner. If you're going to use a pinch hitter in that 9 spot, then maybe you're a little more cautious. If the pitcher's going to hit, maybe you're a little more aggressive, anticipating that McFarland won't do much with the bat.
Well, Hill misses upstairs with a fastball. Avila takes the walk. 2 on and 1 out for Devin Marrero. Second walk issued by Rich Hill tonight. Marrero had a tremendous at bat against Hill to lead off the third. Finally hit a bullet down to third that was caught by Forsythe. Chris Owings, the runner at second. Slow-mo Alex Avila, the runner at first. That one almost went into center field. Out of play. TJ McFarland, as you said, will hit for himself. They need some innings from TJ tonight. Fly ball deep left center. Peterson backing up. He's at the track. He's at the wall. And there it goes. Devin Marrero wasn't sure. He looked at all the umpires. Yeah, that's gone.
And he almost passed slow-mo Avila at first base.
Yeah, Brian Gorman had to signal safe. There was no passing of the runner. Everybody was watching that one get out of here. And Marrero takes it deep in Dodger Stadium at 6-1.
Pitcher number 30, TJ McFarland.
Oh, elevated fastball up above the belt, gets every bit of it. That's a long home run out there just to the left to straightaway center. And a night game at Dodger Stadium, ball usually doesn't carry that well.
Owings a double, Avila a walk. Marrero, his first home run as a Diamondback. Dave Roberts checking in with Adrian Johnson. And they'll huddle up about the runners at first. Brian Gorman was definitive. They looked at him and he signaled safe, the crew chief. There he is with his back to you there.
Yeah, Brian Gorman and Dave McKay was waving his arms and yelling at Devin Marrero not to pass Alex Avila.
Now you can review this. Here's a look. Avila going back to the bag at first.
Oh man.
Oh boy. Depends on your angle.
Oh boy.
Passing runners is subject to a manager challenge, and that's what we have right here.
Well, that was just one angle. There might be a better angle that they're looking at in New York, but really tough to tell. As you said, it just kind of depends on your angle. Avila was in the baseline between first and second. Marrero had rounded the bag at first. Not quite sure.
Boy, it's interesting with no wind at all here. It's not a hot night, but it's certainly comfortable. The ball seems to be carrying out to the outfield.
Dodgers challenging the call on the field that the runners did not pass one another on the base pass.
They are challenging the runners on the base paths. They make the announcement here. I think it caught Avila by surprise how much that ball did carry out there to left center field. He was, not only was he slow-mo, he was going the wrong way.
Yeah, it was high in the air, and it appeared that the Dodgers were going to get a defender underneath the ball right at the wall. So Avila had the idea to go back and tag in advance 90 feet, but that sailed on out of here.
You see Torrey checking in with a plate umpire, Adrian Johnson. Brian Gorman in the small box there on the right on the headset with New York. Rich Hill will throw some warm-up tosses while we wait. They're going to need to look at as many angles as they can on this, so this might take a while. Boy, something about this series, just all these weird, fluky plays and bounces and strange calls and missed calls and non-calls. Looks like the word is in from New York. And he is out. Boy, that's a tough way to lose your first D-back homer. And Brian Gorman explains to Torey Lovullo what the folks in New York told him. And once you go to the headsets, it's no longer the responsibility of the umpires here, of course. The decision is made in New York.
Well, you can at least hope to get an explanation.
After review, the call on the field was overturned.
Well, we're being told that the angle we showed you a moment ago is the only angle that New York has. Because on that type of play, a fairly routine home run, you're not pointing the cameras at first base there. So there's just not a lot of looks, not a lot of angles. And the one we showed you on our replay, it really didn't seem to sway things in the D-backs' favor. In any case, it's 5-1 now. And TJ McFarland will take his at bat here in the fourth inning now with 2 outs and the bases empty. An eventful top of the fourth, but the D-backs come away with a 5-1 lead. In the meantime, we'll remind you can watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. It includes MLB At Bat Premium. That lets you watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Visit MLB.tv for details. Marrero is credited with a single and 2 RBIs. It's a putout by the first baseman. So single, 2 RBIs, 3 unassisted on the out is how you score that. So they take the home run away from Devin Marrero, which is a real shame, but he does get the 2 RBIs. And Jock Peterson will lead off the bottom of the 4th. They'll put the shift on, and he'll run over there on the first base side of second. So single, 2 runs batted in, 3 unassisted on the putout of Marrero. Can you remember the last time you saw that?
No.
I don't blame you.
I had no idea how to score that. I mean, you can see how New York would have had trouble determining whether he passed him or not, because as we said, we had the only camera angle available. You need to get out a slide rule and a protractor to figure out whether he passed Alex Avila out there, but apparently that's what they did in New York. Too bad for Devin Marrero, but boy, did he hit that ball well. Woo.
Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game. You see Marrero standing in the second base spot alongside Ketel Marte. 0-2 on Peterson. Here's the only look that New York had, this one right here. Avila going back to the bag at first, Marrero watching the ball, and from that, and again, it's all about the angle, but that's awfully close. If it looked like he was maybe a step or so ahead, just based on that angle, it might look completely different from another angle, but that's the only one they had between D-backs and Dodgers TV. Two balls, 2 strikes. 5-1 Diamondbacks, bottom 4.
Yeah, we even checked with the Dodger telecast tonight to see if they might have had a different angle of that play at first base, and they didn't have any view of it.
That's tapped over the head of TJ McFarland. Ahmed cleans it up.
Yeah, like you said, Bert, our camera guys are so well trained. When the ball's put into play, they know where to look. They know where to focus. And on a ball hit to the fence in left center field, a lot of the cameras were tracking the ball, tracking the outfielders. Nobody looking at first base. No reason to look at first base.
So a 3-run home run turns into a 2-run single. Logan Forsythe 0 for 1. TJ settling into some rhythm now, just firing that fastball down and away. He's ahead of Forsythe 0-2. This carries out to short right. CO coming in.
I mentioned earlier, Chris Owings has done a really outstanding job defensively out there in right field. He runs on the balls of his feet. His head stays very still as he's tracking a ball. Sometimes guys who are playing outfield out of position, they run hard. They hit on their heels, their head bounces up and down, and consequently the ball is bouncing up and down. But CO is very light on his feet. His head rarely moves when he's pursuing those fly balls.
Did a tremendous job as the center fielder a couple of years ago when we lost A.J. Pollock at the very end of spring training. Two down, bases empty for Utley, who singled his first time. Fastball off the plate.
I'm sorry, partner. We had that shot earlier in the game of Chase Utley kind of running up to the box and looked like he was going to slash the ball to the left side. And it appeared that his left foot stepped across the inside corner of the plate. Now, it was behind the plate, but he stepped across the inside corner. We called Dave Robbins on that one time when he was still an active player. He squared to bunt, and his left foot went clear up by the back point of home plate. Bunted the ball fair, beat it out for a base hit. We came out and argued that he stepped out of the batter's box and he was called out.
No review on that one that time.
Not back then. Cave drawings is all we had.
2-1. DJ doing a good job keeping that ball down. Now with a 2-2 count, Marrero will go over and stand in front of second base umpire Brian Gorman. Ahmed the only defender on the left side. Couldn't get him to chase. Full count 3-2. The pitcher Rich Hill on deck.
Big out to get right here. You want Rich Hill in that on deck circle. Send him back out to the mound. And then if Dave Roberts has to make a change, he's probably going to want to make a double switch.
Ketel Marte. 1, 2, 3, 4th for TJ McFarland. It's 5-1 D-backs.
Top of the 5th, D-backs lead the Dodgers 5-1. What? 5? You know what that means? Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
It might have been 6 runs had the home run not been taken off the board, hit by Devin Marrero. Now, Major League Baseball has installed what they call runner placement cameras high up in the building somewhere. So in addition to the angle that we showed you, we don't have access to their runner placement camera, but they may have an angle that backed up what we saw in our replay. Just so you know, Peralta has flied out, walked, and scored. He's 0 for 1. Rich Hill had a 1-0 lead, but the D-backs got 3 in the third, 2 more in the fourth. They lead at 5-1. Ketel Marte an RBI double. Goldie a 2-run homer. Devin Marrero credited with a 2-run single. Popped up to third.
First time we've seen that sidearm delivery from Rich Hill today. You mentioned he's done that in the past. He used to just throw breaking balls from that sidearm delivery, but then last year he started to mix in some fastballs from a sidearm delivery. The first one we've seen from him tonight.
He'll use every club in the bag, that's for sure. Here's Marte, a strikeout and an RBI double. He's also scored a run. One more chance for Forsythe at third. Well, there was no controversy on the Paul Goldschmidt homer in the third, his third of the season. About 3/4 of the way up the foul pole in left field. Dodgers put 3 defenders on the left side. This was Goldie with 2 outs in the third. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing cool play of the game. 428 feet. At that 32-degree launch angle.
Seemed like it went a lot farther than that.
I'm inclined to agree. As you said, the only question was going to be fair or foul. So Goldie 2 for 2, a single and a homer. He's now hit safely in 5 straight. 7 of 8 games on this road trip. And again, Rich Hill gets that call on the outer half, just off the edge of the strike zone. It's 2-2. Backdoor the breaking ball, and it's full 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Boy, that is a dangerous pitch to Goldie. That flat sidearm slider doesn't have much velocity.
Back out there with a fastball at 88. 32 pitch third for Rich Hill. 90 pitches, 58 for strikes. And Goldie shoots one through the hole. He's 3 for 3.
Center fielder A.J. Pollock.
Really weighted back well on that 74-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Maybe caught it out toward the end of the bat just a little bit, but got enough of it to shoot it through that left side for a 2-out knock.
Where you can see the D-back hitters waiting that extra half a beat for the ball to get to home plate before they swing. They can see it clearly with Goldie there. Here's AJ 0 for 2. There's that little extra hitch before they turn it loose. Dave Roberts, the skipper, on the right. Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach, on the left, with Hill at 92 pitches. No one warming up in the LA bullpen. Pitcher spot is due to lead off the bottom of the 5th. AJ gets behind one. Deep left field. Peterson looking up, and it's gone. AJ Pollock is second this season. 7-1 D-backs.
That should get some activity in that Dodger bullpen. A.J. Pollock just absolutely crushes a high inside fastball. Oh, man. D-backs are teeing up Rich Hill right now.
Their second home run tonight, a jumbo jack. Free tomorrow, a Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. Third time they've hit the ball over the fence, but they only have 2 homers. And the bullpen will get busy for the Dodgers. The left-hander, Scott Alexander. Owings doubled and scored his last time up to lead off the 4th. Bouncer in the hole. Forsythe in front of Seager. But the Diamondbacks tack on 2 more. AJ's second of the year makes it 7-1 D-backs. The D-backs will host these Dodgers again coming up later this month, April 30th through May the 3rd at Chase Field. Get your NL West rival tickets now. Get ready to chant "Beat LA" inside Chase Field. dbacks.com. TJ McFarland back out there for his 3rd inning of work in relief of the injured Taijuan Walker. Kyle Farmer will hit for the pitcher Rich Hill. Been a wild one again here at Dodger Stadium. If you're just joining us, Taijuan had to leave tonight's game with right forearm tightness. Farmer 4 for 13 on the year. He had a pinch hit single in the 5th inning last night. In fact, Farmer has hit safely in 4 straight games, all 4 as a pinch hitter, as Rich Hill's night comes to an end. Once again, the D-backs teeing off against a left-hand starter.
For Rich Hill, 3rd time through the order. I mean, we've talked about it at length tonight. He's a 2-pitch pitcher. And after 2 at-bats in the ball game, seeing those 2 pitches over and over and over again, eventually you kind of get some timing and some rhythm. We saw the D-backs wait back on some breaking balls and drive them to the opposite field. We saw him turn on some fastballs. He just had nothing left to fool the D-backs hitters with. I think maybe that's why he started dropping down sidearm in that last inning. He realized that they were getting some real good swings against him, and he reached into his bag of tricks and tried to come up with something different.
2-2 on Kyle Farmer. Nick Ahmed. Now you go back to August 12th of last season, August 12th. Since then, the D-backs are 19-3 against left-hand starters. And they just sent another one packing here tonight. Here's Taylor, the leadoff man. He's walked and struck out. So far, TJ has retired 7 of the 8 Dodgers he's faced. Swing and a miss at 0-1.
You know, it stands to reason that the Diamondbacks would do well against left-handed starters when you think about Paul Goldschmidt and Ketel Marte swinging from the right side, Nick Ahmed this year, A.J. Pollock, Chris Owings. I mean, even David Peralta and Daniel Descalso, 2 left-handed hitters, they hang in tough against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, when they faced Kershaw at Chase Field last week, 2 solo homers, both by left-handers, Peralta and Descalso. Tonight, 2-run homers from Goldie and AJ. 2-run single, it turned out, by Marrero. Ketel Marte, another ground ball out for TJ McFarland. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for him so far.
Corey Seager.
Corey Seager has grounded out twice, 0 for 2.
TJ doing exactly what you're expected to do when the team spots you to a 6-run lead and you're in the game as an emergency pitcher because the starter got blown out early. Throw strikes. Just throw the ball over the plate. Let your defense work behind you. And the way TJ can roll up ground balls, that's exactly what you're looking for right now.
The only base hit against him, Bellinger's 2-out double in the 3rd. And again, Taijuan Walker had to leave tonight after 2 innings with right forearm tightness. Scott Alexander, the left-hander, he's a ground ball specialist. There's bullpen coach Mark Pryor back there for the Dodgers. Alexander continues to warm up after Farmer hit for Rich Hill. Headed for the seats. Marrero's over there, but it's not a play. Two and two. Grandal singled in the 1st. He's 1 for 2. He would be next. A bouncer to second. Another ground ball from TJ McFarland. He's retired 7 straight. And through 5, it's 7-1 D-backs.
Get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACS50 at papajohns.com.
Sixth inning at Chavez Ravine, and the new pitcher for the Dodgers is the left-hander Scott Alexander, who had a terrific season last year pitching in Kansas City, a career best 2.48 ERA. But as you can see here, since he was acquired by the Dodgers in January, things haven't worked out all that well.
Yeah, 6 walks in only 4 1/3 innings of work, rather. Having trouble finding that zone.
Dodgers bullpen has been an issue. They're having a look out there at Logan Forsythe at third base. Dave Roberts out there as well. And the strangeness continues. Not sure what this is about.
Yeah, we were told that between innings, Logan Forsythe was working on that right shoulder in the dugout over there. Not sure what's going on with him. It looks like he's going to have to come out of the ball game.
Kike Hernandez will take over at third, and Forsythe exits.
Entering the game at third base, number 14, Kike Hernandez.
Boy, just not working out for Dave Roberts. They didn't get off to a great start last year either. But if they drop this one, they'll be 4-9. And a lot of questions about the bullpen. When they're going to get Justin Turner back. The offense hasn't got going yet. It was a rough night tonight for Rich Hill. A lot more questions than answers here in LA so far. Nick Ahmed leads off the Diamondbacks 6th. The only good news they've had all week really was the fact that on Wednesday, Major League Baseball decided that Dodger Stadium will host the 2020 All-Star Game. So that'll be right here, the All-Star Game coming up in a few years.
There'll be about 8 Diamondbacks in that game.
Hopefully.
Well, Dodger fans love that.
Make it all 9. Include the pitcher. Dodgers last hosted an All-Star Game in 1980, and Rob Manfred said it's time to be back. So there's that. There's a fastball at the knees. 1-2 on Nick. Alexander's a guy who works down in the zone looking for ground balls. Dodgers, of course, played in the 7th game of the World Series last year. And there's a lot of baseball people, Bob, who insist that takes an awful lot out of you. It's a big toll because you wind up playing a full month longer than anyone else. And so there is a bit of a hangover going into the next year.
And then all your friends and relatives spend the entire winter telling you how great you are.
Alexander has that one. And they retire Ahmed to start the 6th. I mean, it's a solid month, and it's every out is a big deal. It's very high leverage innings.
Pitcher,
pressurized, competitive baseball, of course, in October. That's a lot of extra work.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a problem you'd like to have.
Yes, exactly right. There's the pitching staff. 3 lefties there, Ryu and Alex Wood. Here's Alex Avila, who walked in the 4th, scored on what was a Devin Marrero 3-run homer until it was ruled that Marrero had passed Avila on the bases, and that 3-run home run was changed to a 2-run single. Nationwide Vision Center gives us a look at the Dodgers defensive alignment. You see Kike Hernandez, the third baseman, way out there in short right field. Wow. Fastball's getting, or the strike zone's getting wider on both sides now. I guess he's looked at life from both sides now.
Oh my.
It's 1-1.
That's digging deep.
Yeah, it is. Sorry.
I want to extend birthday wishes to San Francisco Giants reliever Corey Guerin, celebrating a birthday today.
Did you get him anything?
If his birth was anything like his appearances for the Giants, his mother went into labor 2 weeks ago.
Wow. You didn't like Joni Mitchell, but that one made it through, huh? Now Adrian Johnson says that's a ball, and it's 3-1. It's also, as they put on the scoreboard here, the anniversary for Tommy and Joe Lasorda.
Yeah. 68th wedding anniversary.
Wow. Full count, 3-2. You could get Corey Guerin a pitch clock for his birthday.
Stopwatch.
One of the heroes tonight, Devin Marrero, who hit a ball over the wall in left center field for a 2-run single. Dodgers keep the shift on, full count on Avila, 3-2. He hits it into the shift. Utley in front of the third baseman Hernandez out there. 4-3 in the putout, 2 down. Here is Devin Marrero, who lined out hard to third in the third, and then in the fourth inning did this, a 3-run homer. It's gone, but watch Alex Avila, who was going back to the base at first. Marrero passed him, and so he was ruled out, and the 3-run home run became a 2-run single.
Well, it doesn't take anything away from the fact that Devin Marrero has hit the ball right on the button a couple times tonight.
Sure has, and he's up there again against a left-hander in Alexander. Well, he'll have a story to tell. Do you remember your first home run as a Diamondback? I sure do. Dodger Stadium. It was a 2-run single. Wait, what?
Well, he's coming from an organization where a lot of long hit balls to left field turn into singles.
That's a good point.
Fenway bouncing off that green monster, staying in play.
I see J.D. Martinez has figured out you're better off hitting them to center and to right.
Wow.
At Fenway Park.
That game against the Orioles yesterday, it was like they were playing handball against the green monster.
Former Dodger Hanley Ramirez, another home run today. He's had a good start under Alex Cora in Boston. D-backs have out-hit the Dodgers 7-5. They lead at 7-1. TJ McFarland has been terrific on in relief of the injured Taijuan Walker. Taijuan had to leave with tightness in his right forearm. And TJ so far 3 scoreless innings. He's given up just 1 hit. Fastball up and away, and once again Marrero a long at bat against a left-hander. It's full 3-2. He did this back in the third and lined out hard to third base. Pops this one up near second. Utley's under it, and Alexander works a 1-2-3 6th inning. We're in LA where it's 7-1 D-backs. TJ McFarland back out there for the 6th inning. D-backs with a 7-1 lead. Fans, for collegiate baseball players, an invitation to play in Cape Cod Summer Baseball League is a big step on their journey to the big leagues. A.J. Pollock, Jake Lamb, Pavin Smith among the Diamondbacks who've been there. Don't miss the debut of Cape Cod, a journey to the bigs. It's coming up Wednesday at 5:30 right here on Fox Sports Arizona. A look at the Cape League, one of baseball's great institutions. There's A.J. who played there when he was at Notre Dame. T.J. McFarland has retired 9 of the 10 batters he's faced, including the last 7. And Yasmani Grandal leads off the LA 6th. McFarland has been outstanding on in relief of the injured Taijuan Walker, considering especially the TJ threw 13 pitches in the ball game last night. He's got 7 ground ball outs so far. Aaron Charlton has been hard at work. Last Diamondback to pitch in a game and then go at least 3 innings the next day, Patrick Corbin, back in September of 2016. That was against the Giants. Center field for Pollock.
More than likely, this will be his last inning of work. His spot is due up first in the 7th inning. I think Torlavello is very ecstatic for what he's gotten out of his left-hander so far tonight.
Fernando Salas, it looks like, has started warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. There's Robbie Hammock and Torey Lavello. And there is Salas, who's done a terrific job since he won a bullpen spot coming out of spring training. Cody Bellinger has struck out and doubled. He's 1 for 2. Bellinger was saying this spring, coming into his 2nd big league season after he was Rookie of the Year last year, that they told him in his junior year in high school, senior year is going to be even harder. And they said that when he got to Double-A. It's going to be a lot harder than High A. So the idea of a sophomore slump is a concept really that he's used to and heard a lot about. He says they're just bigger steps. He's not a big believer in any kind of sophomore slump.
I never really believed in a sophomore slump either. I think it's just a matter of adjustments. You know, the league sees you, they find the holes in your swing eventually, and if they can execute their pitches and get to that hole, well, then you may end up having a sophomore slump. But I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that you're a 2nd-year player. It's just the fact that the league has made adjustments.
Well, when you come up as a rookie, hit 39 home runs and knock in 97, they're going to adjust to what you're doing. He found that out in the World Series against the Astros. 2-2. We've seen that called a strike before. Ball 3 that time. Full count with Puig on deck. How did you do your 2nd season?
82. I think I did okay in 82. Not great, but as a part-time player, part of a platoon behind the plate, I think I did okay.
You're slump proof.
No. Not even.
Oh yeah, you hit 283.
Oh, I raked.
Swing and a miss. He punches out Bellinger. First strikeout for TJ tonight.
Straight changeup. That's a weapon we don't see TJ use a whole lot, especially against a left-handed hitter, but he broke out the straight changeup there and got Bellinger out in front.
There's Puig, who was doubled and flied out. TJ got him to fly out to left to end the 3rd. Boy, you're right, Bob. Just
throw strikes.
Just throw quality strikes. Keep the ball down, throw strikes. Force them to swing the bat to beat you.
Puig doubled to lead off the second against Taijuan Walker. He has scored the Dodgers' only run, came home on a Jock Peterson RBI single. Taijuan had to leave the game shortly after that with tightness in his right forearm. And McFarland has been sensational in relief. Shoots that one fair down the right field line. And Yasiel Puig is in standing up with his second double tonight. Ends a stretch of 9 straight retired by McFarland.
Left fielder, Jock Peterson.
A sinker off the plate away, and Puig goes out there and cues it off the end of the bat right down the first baseline. That's not a bad pitch. It's good hitting.
Jock Peterson has singled and grounded out. Off the mound, Ahmed is there. 4 scoreless innings of relief from T.J. McFarland. 7-1 D-backs.
Dodger fans, direct your attention to the big screen here. I am with Marcel.
Seventh inning where the D-backs lead the Dodgers. We have another angle of the home run that wasn't. Devin Marrero. It was ruled past Alex Avila at first. This is the runner placement cam that Major League Baseball installed in the very top level of Dodger Stadium. That's the look that they had in New York that we couldn't show you earlier. And it looked like when you combine our angle with that angle, the call was probably correct.
Unfortunately, I would tend to agree with you.
John Ryan Murphy hitting for the pitcher T.J. McFarland. This is out to center for Taylor, drifting over to right center, coming in now. Second inning of relief for the left-hander Scott Alexander. And here's David Peralta. Peralta walked and scored in the third. He's 0 for 2. D-backs already 4-0 versus the Dodgers this year. Winners of 10 straight regular season games against LA, and looking to add to both totals. As Seager throws him out quickly, 2 down.
I mentioned when Alexander came into the ball game that he's had trouble with his command. He'd walked 6 batters in 4 1/3. Diamondbacks aren't even giving him a chance to walk anybody, attacking a lot of first pitches from the left-hander.
Marte, an RBI double in that third. Came home on Goldie's 2-run homer. D-backs have already won 4 straight series to open a season for the first time ever as Fernando Salas continues to warm up. Tonight, with a win here, they can clinch a 4th straight series win against the Dodgers, which would tie a Diamondback record. Hernandez, a low throw, and a scoop by Bellinger, and they retire Marte. We stretch in LA at 7-1 D-backs. Brought to you by CenturyLink, the series finale here tomorrow afternoon. And a rematch of a pitching matchup from last Tuesday. Clayton Kershaw for LA, Zach Godley for the D-backs. Godley won that one. 1 run, 4 hits in 7 innings. He was terrific, and he's off to a terrific start.
Clayton Kershaw, unquestionably the ace in this Dodger staff, and Zach Godley could stake his own claim to that title with the Diamondbacks the way he's pitched in the early going.
D-backs live pregame show at 12:30 tomorrow on Fox Sports Arizona. Fernando Salas, the right-hander, on to start the home half of the 7th inning, and Kike Hernandez, who took over at third for the injured Logan Forsythe, will lead it off for LA. He jumps on the first pitch, pops it up shallow center. Pollock coming in, Marte drifting out, and Cattell has it.
Second baseman, number 26, Chase Utley.
Here's Chase Utley. Utley is singled and grounded out, 1 for 2. D-backs have the shift on, and there's strike 1. Wilmer Fonts with that curveball, warming up in the Dodger bullpen. We saw him at the Chase Field series last week. Font is the guy that served up the walk-off homer to Andrew McCutcheon in San Francisco last weekend in the 14th inning. 0-2.
Yeah, Font has not been missing many bats. He's given up 15 hits and 7 in the third already this season.
There's a great look from our Nationwide Vision Center eye on the game cam. You can see with 2 strikes, Marrero, the third baseman, moves over to stand on the first base side of second with the shift on against Utley. This is the 4th time in D-backs history they've scored at least 7 runs in back-to-back games at Dodger Stadium. They've never done it in 3 straight games here, and maybe tomorrow. Then again, Clayton Kershaw is pitching, but stranger things have happened. They've certainly happened in this series.
Just score 1 more than the Dodgers.
Well, the D-backs, if they need to replace Taijuan Walker in the rotation, have some intriguing options in the minor leagues. Both Braden Shipley and Taylor Clark have looked good in the minors so far. So there's a number of pieces that they can fill in there if they need to. We talked to Mike Hazen about that in St. Louis. You know, we said, Mike, what about the rotation depth here past your starting 5? He feels really good about where they are organizationally. They've got some good options at the minor league level. If Taijuan has to miss some time, that remains to be seen, of course.
Be necessary right now, but nice to know. Ooh. Well, we've got a big piece of Alex Avila back there behind the plate.
He's really going to be slow-mo now.
Nice change up, down and away. Just gets a piece of it. Got him right up in the armpit there that time as he was reaching out for that pitch.
Matt Kemp in the on-deck circle. Pitcher spot is up next for LA. Got that accordion strike zone going. You know, it expands and contracts.
I like to call it the amoeba strike zone. You ever looked at through a microscope at an amoeba and it kind of changes shape, and now it's long and now it's short and fat. That's kind of what the strike zone has been tonight.
Full count, 3-2. Tenth pitch coming up to Chase Utley, who can still do it at the age of 39. He'll be 40 in December. He's got a 2-year deal in his back pocket. Native Californian, went to high school in Long Beach, played like Torey Lovello at UCLA. Rolls one off the side of the mound and into center field.
Pitch hitting for the Dodgers, number 27, Matt Kemp.
Matt Kemp will hit for Alexander, the pitcher, 333 and a homer. Kemp last night had an RBI single, 1 for 5. He struck out 3 times. Not in the starting lineup tonight. Kemp bruised his right knee jumping up into the left field wall on Nick Ahmed's homer in the 8th inning last night. He stayed in the game and told reporters it wasn't even worth writing about. But Dave Roberts kept him out of the starting lineup tonight. Funny, he told reporters, Dave Roberts, that Kemp not being in there had nothing to do with the knee. He just wanted to keep Jock Peterson relevant. That was his word. So Kemp available off the bench to pinch hit here.
Just a lot of pieces right now for the Dodgers that are misfiring. Seemed like last year when they went 42-8, they could do no wrong. It didn't matter who was at the plate. They were going to hit the ball somewhere hard.
They just got hot and ran away from everybody.
Sure did. I mean, that's a once-in-a-generation run that they had. You probably won't see that again in our lifetime, I would think. Somebody winning 42 out of 50? Come on.
Well, they've spotted the D-backs 5.5 games in the NL West standings. 2-2 on Matt Kemp. Got him.
Center fielder, number 3.
Breaking ball that time from Salas. Hard slider, belt high. Probably not the vertical spot he wanted it, but got it off that outside corner. Got the swing and a miss.
Mike Butcher, a slow walk to the mound. Now he realizes, oh, I'm on the clock. And they'll have a conference before Taylor steps in. Series finale here tomorrow. Diamondback Live pregame show at 12:30. Zach Godley and Clayton Kershaw. That's the finale of this 3-city road trip. Off day on Monday, then the Giants come into Chase Field for 3 starting Tuesday night.
Partner, seems like an odd time for a mound visit. I had to check the numbers. I thought perhaps Chris Taylor had great success against Fernando Salas. He's only 1 for 8 lifetime. Got a 6-run lead in the ball game with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th and a runner at first.
Well, I guess they're like timeouts. You might as well use them.
Might as well use them.
Taylor has walked, struck out, grounded out, 0 for 2. Salas doing what he's done all season long, what he did throughout spring training, just pounding the strike zone.
It's one of those odd ball games, partner. When your second pitcher in the ball game throws more pitches than your first pitcher, you don't expect to be leading 7-1.
That's an excellent point. Each team has 7 hits. Andrew Chafin warming up with the Diamondback bullpen. I mean, there's always the possibility that you bring in Chafin for Seager and flip Grandal if you get that far. Bellinger behind him. AJ in center. Fernando Salas gets us through the 7th inning. D-backs have a 7-1 lead. Goldie already 3 for 3 will lead off the 8th. D-backs Kids Club, presented by Dan Zeisen Dairy, a free program for kids 15 and younger. Kids earn prizes for each game they attend, including tickets to Sunday home games, concessions, merchandise, and a whole lot more. Get all your info online, dbacks.com/kidsclub.
Leading off the 8th inning.
New pitcher for the Dodgers.
Number 44.
Wilmer Font, we saw him work 4 1/3 in that marathon 15-inning game last Monday at Chase Field. He eventually picked up the loss in that game. And it's been rough sledding ever since. His ERA is 13.5.
Giving up about 2 hits an inning.
Goldie, yeah, well, he gets Goldie, who's 3 for 3 to start the 8th. 2 singles and a home run. And he's knocked in 2 and scored twice. Those 3-hit games against the Dodgers since 2012, which was Goldie's first full season. 10, including tonight. And AJ, who's got 8, is on deck. He homered 1 for 3 so far. He didn't go, says Hal Gibson, and it's 1-1. First 3-hit game for Goldie since early August of last year. He had a rough September. Taylor in right center. One away in the 8th.
Center fielder number 11, A.J. Pollock.
A.J. in the 5th with 2 outs after a Goldie single.
No doubter to left field. A couple of the home runs tonight just barely snuck over the fence. No doubt about that one.
His 2nd this season. Now with 280 on the year. Talked about this stretch the D-backs are on in the division to open up the season. 18 of their first 21 versus the NL West. How about this start?
Well, we had circled that first 21 games of the season, 18 of them against your own division, as a very crucial point of the season.
AJ sends one toward the bullpen. And it's a 2-homer game for A.J. Pollock. His 2nd tonight, his 3rd this year, make it 8-1 D-backs.
Right fielder number 16, Chris Owings.
Appeared to be a slider that just stayed right there on the inside part of the plate. You see where Grandal was set up off the outside corner. That pitch just stayed right on the inside part for AJ. Another no doubt.
Chris Owings. AJ Pollock, a jumbo jack. Free jumbo jack tomorrow, a Jack in the Box with a purchase of a large drink. His 3rd career multi-home run game.
I get the feeling he's going to have a few more of those before the year is over. When he gets locked in at the plate, he's as hot as anybody.
He's had a tremendous start to the year. Owings doubled and scored in the 4th. He's 1 for 3 tonight. D-backs have hit 3 home runs, 4 if you count Devin Marrero's 2-run single. 97 from Font. He gets the strikeout, 2 down.
Shortstop number 13, Nick Ahmed.
Here's Nick Ahmed 0 for 3. Ahmed homered in the 8th inning last night. That turned out to be the difference in the 8-7 win. Andrew Chafin. They've got 2 lefties and a switch hitter due up with the Dodgers 8th. Another benefit, Bob, to this 8-1 score. It's a night off for Archie Bradley, and you have to start thinking that way with how often he's been used in some of these close games.
Yeah, and if you're going to give Archie a day off, you need somebody else in the bullpen to step up, especially when your starter only goes 2 innings. And what a great job by T.J. McFarland tonight. Can't say enough about the job he did in his 4 innings of work.
4 scoreless, gave up only 2 hits.
I mean, as a manager, these are the kind of games that can go either way. You bring T.J. McFarland in and he can't get out of the inning. Now all of a sudden you got to open up a whole can of bullpen just to get through this game. Probably have to make roster moves after the game to get some healthy arms up here. But T.J. McFarland eliminated that need.
Taylor in center field. Another Diamondback home run, the 2nd tonight and the 3rd of the year for A.J. Pollock. Into the bullpen off Wilmer Font. 8th inning at LA. 8-1 D-backs. Seven runs in back-to-back games at Dodger Stadium. They lead this one 8-1. Our Gila River game summary. The only bad news, Taijuan Walker, who had to leave after only 2 innings with tightness in his right forearm. Goldie is homered. Pollock is homered twice. Devin Marrero a 2-run single after a home run was taken off the board. The Sheriff, Andrew Chafin, is on to work the home half of the 8th inning. Corey Seager, Yasmani Grandal, and Cody Bellinger due up for the Dodgers. Seager so far 0 for 3. He has grounded out 3 times. If the Diamondbacks can hang on here, they will be in position tomorrow to make it 4 consecutive series wins against the Dodgers. 4 straight sweeps. Godley and Kershaw here tomorrow afternoon. Four straight series wins against LA would tie a D-backs team record. It would also, a win tonight, mean or clinch 5 straight series wins to open up this year, extending their club record. Goldie 3 for 4. 2 singles, a home run. He scored twice. He's knocked in 2. 2-2 on Corey Seager. D-backs will improve to 11-3. And on April 14th, don't go crazy yet, they'll be 6.5 games ahead of LA. Full count, 3-2.
Well, you can go crazy if you want to. Anytime you have a lead over the Dodgers, it's a reason to go nuts.
No question. Chafin strikes out Seager to start the home half of the 8th inning. Seager 0 for 4.
Catcher number 9, Yasmani.
Good hard slider down low and away out of the strike zone. I really think right now Seager's looking to hit off-speed pitches. He's been overmatched by low 90s fastballs throughout this series.
Grandal will turn around and bat right-handed against Chafin. He singled in the first, 1 for 3 tonight. Well, Seager's had that elbow problem that flared up late last year. And there was a back problem that kept him out of one postseason series. The elbow flared up again this spring. So he might not be 100%.
You know, I look at Corey Seager a little bit like I look at Paul Goldschmidt. You know, if they're swinging through low 90s fastballs right down the middle, they're either thinking wrong or maybe something physically wrong. Mentally, they're not where they need to be at the plate. And we know Goldie usually wears out those middle of the plate fastballs. And so does Corey Seager for that matter.
Chafin way over there on the third base side of the rubber. 2-1 on Yasmani Grandal. Fastball right by him. It's 2-2. Bellinger will be next.
.69 miles an hour off the bat. That foul ball went 186 feet.
In the wrong direction.
Every batted ball, whether it's fair or foul, goes up on the big board here. And occasionally the launch angle on a ground ball is -20.
Well, Grandal is one of these launch angle converts. He says the magic number for him is 15 degrees. That's what he's looking for. So he's moved his hands back a little bit. He's got more of an uppercut in his swing, trying to lift the ball. Full count, 3-2. Missed with a fastball up and away, a 1-out walk. First walk issued by D-backs pitchers
First
tonight
base, number
since
35,
Taylor was walked by Taiwan to
Bellinger.
lead off the ballgame. And Bellinger's up. He's doubled and struck out twice.
It's another one of those occasions. My choice would be to play Goldie behind Yasmani Grandal. He's not going anywhere, down by 7 runs in the ball game. You know Cody Bellinger wants to pull that ball to the right side hard. I'd rather have Goldie playing behind the runner over there.
Chafin jumps ahead 0-2. Well, Bellinger does handle left-hand pitchers. 12 home runs last season versus lefties. Now with 2 strikes, as they've done all night, they'll put the shift on. And Marrero moves from third base over behind the bag at second. Ahmed stays at short. Trying to fist that one out to Marte. They get 1, and they can't turn 2. And we'll see Puig.
Right fielder number 66, Yasiel Puig.
Puig's had a good night. He's doubled twice and scored their only run. Came in a 4 for 21 skid, dropped from his number 3 spot in the batting order. From Chafin.
Rushed it right by him that time. You may remember Yasiel Puig's last at bat against TJ McFarland in the 6th inning. TJ threw him a real good sinker low and away. Puig shot it right down that right field line.
0-2. Well, Chafin saying, here's my best fastball, go ahead.
We said it before when McFarland came into the game, also Salas. Right now, all you want to do is throw strikes. Throw good quality strikes down low around the edges, but throw strikes.
0-2.
One thing about Yasiel Puig, you can't play a shift on it. Diamondbacks are playing about as straight up as they play anybody defensively.
Lays off a breaking ball low, and it's 2-2. Yeah, if you start linking Yasiel Puig and predictability, you're going to run into trouble. Jock Peterson hoping to get a chance. Marrero at third. They go to second for the force on Bellinger, and that gets us to the 9th inning with the D-backs leading the Dodgers 8-1. as we start the 9th inning.
Pitcher number 5, Alex Avila.
Alex Avila will lead off the 9th against Wilmer Font. Avila walked and scored in the 4th. He scored a run after Devin Marrero had hit a home run, but Avila was going back to the first base bag while Marrero was rounding first. So he passed Avila, and Marrero was ruled out. They took the home run off the board. The 3-run homer became a 2-run single. Let's go down to Jody.
Well, guys, I talked to Alex Avila about his struggles at the plate to start the season. He had them in spring as well. He said, look, it's about 21 at-bats. He said 20 at-bats. It was 21 coming into tonight. He said it still feels like it's a small sample. He's still learning the National League. He said he had 35 games last year with the Cubs, and so he feels like it's a process. He's still confident it'll turn around.
It's got to be tough, Jody, switching leagues like that. Avila hits a fly ball. It backs up Puig at the track, at the wall, and there it goes. Alex Avila, his first as a Diamondback. Their 4th home run tonight, and they lead it 9-1. Jody Jackson, ladies and gentlemen.
Third baseman number 10, Devin Marrero.
Take a bow, Jody.
That ball is absolutely clubbed down and in. Lefties love that ball down and in. Boy, head right down the barrel of the bat. Touched that one off really nice.
Jody, what have you got on Devin Marrero? Anything?
For tonight, doesn't he? He has a homer tonight. Oh, wait.
Yeah, well.
Hey, you know, we all know it's baseball. It turns, right? It turns eventually.
Turning in the D-backs' favor right now, that's for sure. Diamondbacks have 9 hits, 4 of them are home runs. And that's not counting Marrero's hit that went over the fence. Taylor having to retrieve a beach ball in center. Now we're set to go again.
Well, for Font, that's 5 home runs surrendered in just over 8 innings pitched this year.
How are we looking? Dodger bullpen is a big question mark. It hasn't really worked out. Even Kenley Jansen, as we know, has had his problems. Jorge De La Rosa getting ready for the bottom of the 9th, we presume. Peterson, Hernandez, and Utley due up. Descalso will hit for Chafin.
Consider number 3.
Daniel was the big
Descalso.
bat last night. 4 RBIs from the cleanup spot, including his 2nd home run this year off a Dodger left-hander. The first was Clayton Kershaw. Last night, Tony Cingrani in the 7th inning. Descalso, after Goldie had singled, this with 2 outs.
A breaking ball that stayed in the strike zone. Talked earlier about David Peralta and Daniel Descalso and some of the damage they've done against left-handed pitching this year. Last night, no exception.
That stays fair for Bellinger. 2 down in the 9th. Well, looking around the major leagues.
Number 6, David Peralta.
Michael Brenly's Red Sox, 12-2. They won today 10-3. They beat Baltimore. Shohei Ohtani across town. His Angels are 13-3. They beat the Royals in the snow in Kansas City. You've got the Mets 11-2. Utley olays that one, and Peralta has a base hit. Pirates 10-4. D-backs with a win here will improve to 11-3. Those are all the best records in baseball.
Looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, the Cubs beat the Braves 14-10 today. They were behind 10-2 in the top of the 7th inning.
It ain't over until it's over. Probably cold there again. That game took 6 hours. I think they had to revive Len Casper. He was frozen in the booth.
Well, we had the Kansas City game on earlier. Kansas City, Anaheim. It was really, I mean, blizzard-like snow in Kansas City they were playing in.
They were playing Burl Ives music over the PA. Bing Crosby. Oh, 0-2 on Ketel Marte. Four Diamondback home runs. Goldie in the 3rd. A.J. Pollock in the 5th and the 8th. And now Avila in the 9th. You could also throw in Marrero's 2-run single. Lots of offense here. 9 runs on 10 hits. Goldie 3 for 4. Pollock 2 for 4. Avila's walked and homered. Goldie's home run made it into the upper deck here at Dodger Stadium. Around the foul pole. Utley again. But the Diamondbacks tack on one more. Alex Avila, his first as a D-back, over the head of Yasiel Puig at Dodger Stadium. Bottom 9 on the way. It's 9-1. Home run has made it a 9-1 D-backs lead as we start the home half of the 9th inning here in LA. And the new pitcher is the left-hander Jorge De La Rosa, who got the loss Tuesday night in San Francisco. He hadn't worked in a long time. Came on in the 9th inning. Walked 3-1 intentionally before Andrew McCutchen's walk-off single won it for the Giants. Jock Peterson leads it off for the Dodgers. Daniel Descalso takes over at first base for Goldie.
You're talking about the proper amount of work for the guys in the bullpen. Torrey told us in confidence that Archie was shut down tonight. Some guys need to throw more regularly. Other guys need regular rest. I think Jorge De La Rosa is one of those guys that's at his best when he's getting regular work. Not every day, but a couple days in a row, take a day off. 2 in a row, take a day off.
That hangs up in left center for Peralta.
That outing in San Francisco that you're referring to his last time out, he just didn't have the fine command that we're used to seeing from Jorge De La Rosa.
14, Kike Hernandez.
Kike Hernandez. Well, the Diamondbacks with a win here have clinched once the game is over. Wins in 5 straight series to open a season for the first time in their history. Also clinching a 4th straight series win against the Dodgers, which ties a D-backs record. Quick quiz for you, BB. The last 4-homer game for the D-backs here at Dodger Stadium.
J.D. Martinez.
Yeah, that's a gimme.
Yeah.
They actually hit 6 in that game September 4th of last year. JD hit 4. Brandon Drury and Adam Rosales hit the other 2. Prior to that, the only other 4-homer game the D-backs have had in this ballpark, July of 05. Chad Tracy, Sean Green, Jose Cruz Jr. and Alex Cintrone. That one got Adrian Johnson.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier in the game, he's a tough guy. Yeah, usually umpires take one off the mask like that and to land a helicopter on the infield. Take him to the hospital. Adrian just shakes it off. Let's go, play ball. If the Diamondbacks hold on, and we certainly hope they do, they would be 9-2 against the National League West this year.
How about that, huh? Ooh. So critical for Torey Lovullo's ball club, opening up with 18 of 21 in the division to start the year. And more on the way. Giants and Padres coming to Chase Field next week. dbacks.com for tickets starting on Tuesday. There's a 1-out single for Hernandez.
Second baseman number 26, Chase Utley.
Utley now. The start at second base tonight, a couple of singles. Pitcher spot is up next. Austin Barnes in the on-deck circle for Dave Roberts.
You mentioned a homestand for the Diamondbacks after they end this road trip tomorrow here in Los Angeles. Looking at the temperatures back home, should be roof open, panels open. Come on out.
I love it.
Of course, I don't control the roof, but just looking at the temperatures forecast for next week, it appears to be very comfortable. Should be wide open.
Off day on Monday. Giants in for the first of 3 Tuesday. We'll see Patrick Corbin, Robbie Ray, and Zach Greinke in that series against San Francisco. All 3 games, 6:40 starts. And don't forget the Archie Bradley audio bobblehead is coming up a week from today against the Padres at Chase Field. So don't miss that one. Get your Archie bobblehead. I don't know if you've been on the Twitter, but if you can see Zach Godley's reaction to the fact that Archie's bobblehead talks, it's worth it. Zach was dismayed, to put it politely. And then he was relieved to find out it wasn't actually Archie's voice. It was Tom Candiotti and the Governor Greg Schulte.
I'm sure everybody in that first base dugout hears enough of Archie's voice. The last thing they need is a bobblehead that talks to him.
Can you imagine? That seemed to be the consensus. That one got Avila. That's what you want. One right off the top of your head in the 9th inning of a 9-1 game.
Yeah, take it home with you.
Just for good measure. Shallow left center. It'll be Pollock. And here's Barnes to hit for the pitcher. Jody Jackson standing by. D-backs Live, the post-game show, follows our ball game. Reaction from inside the clubhouse here at Dodger Stadium. We'll get the latest medical news on Taijuan Walker, who had to leave this one after 2 innings with tightness in his right forearm. You'll hear from Torey Lovullo, some of the players, all coming up on Fox Sports Arizona. De La Rosa ahead 0-2. The headlines are going to be the home runs. But Bob, the bullpen did a tremendous job, as you've mentioned, after Taijuan had to leave following tightness in the right forearm after just 2 innings. TJ McFarland 4 scoreless. Salas, Chafin, De La Rosa keeping the Dodgers off the board. That one is low. D-backs will go for the series sweep tomorrow afternoon. Zach Godley versus Clayton Kershaw. D-backs Live pregame show at 12:30. The win here will clinch a 4th straight series win versus the Dodgers. That ties a franchise record. And a win tomorrow would make it 4 consecutive series sweeps. Two and two. Full count, 3-2 with Taylor on deck. De La Rosa has it, and the Diamondbacks have the win, 9-1. The D-backs improved to 11-3, off to their best ever start to this point in the season. 5-0 versus the Dodgers this year, and winners of 11 straight regular season games against LA dating back to last season.
I think you put it right just a few moments ago, partner. Everybody's going to want to talk about the home runs. Goldie with a blast, AJ with 2, Alex Avila his first D-backs homer, and Devin Marrero, we'll give him credit for a home run even though he only got a single, but For me, it was all about T.J. McFarland tonight. After the short outing by Taijuan Walker, T.J. McFarland did exactly what his team needed him to do.
4 scoreless innings of 2-hit relief.